Our next presentation is going to be from an operator. And that will probably tie some of this together, which I think will be very interesting for us this morning. Our next speaker, and we're honored to host him, is Major General Robert Castellvi. He is the Commanding General for the 1st Marine Division. Just a little bit about him. He is an infantry officer, as you would expect. He has over 35 years of active duty service. He served in all 3 Marine Expeditionary Forces, so he's been around the ballpark, and he's commanded from a rifle platoon to the division level. He's also had staff level assignments at all those areas that you might expect. He has 10 overseas deployments, including combat tours in Panama, Somalia, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Many Marines have that today that have been around for a while, but that brings to the forefront some of the thoughts that he's going to have this morning. So, without further ado, let's join us in welcoming General Castellvi.
Hoorah, how are we all doing? Mike, thanks for a warm intro, and for all those that are here today and get a chance to get reunited with General Walsh, General Clark, General Reynolds is here, General Maylock, Rayman Adams, way to go, come all the way out here, and stuff that he's doing as well. But thank you for having me today. It's a pleasure to speak here today to a distinguished group of government and business leaders alike, all gathered in the spirit of collaboration. Been to this conference a number of times, and enjoy each chance to be able to get down here and mingle with such dedicated professionals, both in uniform and out of uniform. Special thanks, as always, to General Shea and Admiral Daly, all the great people in AFCEA and USNI involved in this program. And I know this kind of stuff doesn't just happen, what they do to pull all this thing together. So it's imperative that we continue to refine and improve our communications capabilities. We have, as you know, a constant need to ensure that our troops can communicate with one another in a way that is both effective, reliable, and survivable. And as we all know, that means keeping pace with the newest advancements in communication technology that's going to outpace our potential adversaries, keeping our competitive edge to fight and win in any climate, any place. So, as Mike said, I command the 1st Marine Division, combat-ready force of over 23,000 Marines and sailors. We are the oldest, largest, most decorated division in the Marine Corps. Marines and sailors carry the legacy of those who have come before them, and we're quite proud of it. Those who have fought in this from this division, at Guadalcanal to Okinawa, from Incheon to Chosin Reservoir, from Da Nang to Hue City, and then to the wars of my generation and the subsequent generation since. Those who fought to liberate Kuwait in Desert Storm, Mogadishu in Operation Restore Hope, the march to Baghdad, through the streets of Fallujah and Ramadi in Operation Iraqi Freedom, and in Afghanistan in Operation Enduring Freedom in places like Marja and Sangin. Today we have some of the most deployed units in the Corps. Currently about a quarter of the 23,000 Marines and sailors of the division are forward deployed. They're supporting deployments on Marine Expeditionary Units. They're deployed to the Western Pacific. They're participating in theater security cooperation exercises that bolster and build partnership capacity with partners around the world. They're in combat today in Syria to Afghanistan with our Special Purpose MAGTF there in CENTCOM. And here in the homeland, I've had a battalion-sized force on a rotational basis for about the last 15 months, supporting our Customs and Border Protection Force. So our high operational tempo demands diligence on part of our Marines and sailors. What has stayed constant over the decades is that our nation expects its Marines to be prepared at all times as a 911 force to respond to any crisis, to fight and win in combat in any climb, in any place. So, as you all know, technology has come a long way since the founding of the division in 1941, and it has evolved with the needs of the force and the changes in our warfighting requirements. So, effective comms continue to be the necessary prerequisite to command and control. and the prerequisite to mission success. And I'm proud to say that's why I've been asked to speak to you today, because in many ways, I believe the 1st Marine Division is leading the way in this effort. So let me take a few minutes to highlight some of the programs that enable us to maintain our competitive edge. So first program I want to highlight is MUOS, or Mobile User Objective System. And this thing has been a game changer for us, especially with direction to the division 2 years ago to be lighter, more lethal, more mobile, and more survivable. It has bridged the digital divide gap that we have between our higher headquarters that require high bandwidth systems and the battalion and below command posts that are dependent on very narrow band systems. So I don't think I had as great an appreciation for it until our most recent division level exercise Steel Night 20. And a lot of the things I'll be bringing up will be a lot of the lessons and things that the innovation that we tested out at Steel Night 20. So the division MUOS network served as a redundant and resilient communication network that protected and guaranteed the use of our primary command and control application at all levels. Common operational picture, AFCEA, TAC chat. So during the exercise, we actually put MUOS to the test, and it fared remarkably well. The MUOS waveform proved its resiliency by withstanding the jamming and detection efforts that we hired through the Threat Systems Management Office out of White Sands. And we hired these guys to intentionally try to poke through the system. And they did their very best. And we had some good lessons that came out of that. But MUOS continues to improve. And the new firmware upgrade takes all the C2 applications that we're able to use, and it makes them even more robust. Again, this thing has been a game changer for us. And proliferating this down to the battalion level has been huge. So, in addition to the remarkable progress we've made in MUOS, let me tell you what we're doing about Network on the Move. So we've successfully implemented NOTAM Airborne, NOTAM A program to meet the growing need for airborne communications. NOTAM A provides commanders limited but essential C2 applications. And I got Colonel Rob Weiler here from the 5th Marines Regiment, our Center of Excellence for our air assault capabilities, that was able to test this in this last 3 train evolutions that we've done. So why is it important? One of the mission essential tasks that I have is to train for the ability to conduct a regimental size air assault. And up until this time, or up until this year, if you were the Marine Air Assault Task Force commander, when it came to command and control, you may have had the ability to effectively command the force while airborne, but you really couldn't say that you were able to control it. That's no longer the case. We've come a long way. The division successfully showcased the capabilities of NOTAM A and Steel Night 20 when we conducted the largest regimental-size air assault. Thanks to the proper planning and staff integration at all levels with our brothers and sisters over at MAG 39, the division's 5th Marine Regiment conducted the air assault with the most robust communications architecture ever deployed for an air assault force in the Marine Corps. During this massive air assault, when we extended over 100 miles from Camp Pendleton to Yuma, Regimental Commander Rob Weiler here was able to communicate with leaders across his force. This new adaptation of NOTAM increases the capabilities of commanders while airborne to increase their own situational awareness and decrease decision-making time. So now let's talk about another area that I'm excited about, and it's what we're doing with SIPR wireless and wireless communications within our command and control platforms. It's been a long and ongoing initiative for their Division G6, is a wireless COC. So for the first time in the division's exercise history, our G6 was able to provide key personnel wireless SIPR network that enabled freedom and versatility unseen in any other COC. And the key motive behind a wireless COC is to reduce the setup and teardown time of the communication architecture of a COC. Why is that important? I mean, this time reduction significantly increases the effectiveness of the COC, increases the amount of time a commander has to make decisions, and provides the versatility to move more frequently in order to stay abreast of the abreast of the operational tempo. The days of large, immobile, largely static main command posts that served us well for about 2 decades, when we had full domain dominance. But those days of the large, immobile command posts that take several hours, if not days, to move, and maybe slightly more mobile forward command posts that still take several hours to move, I mean, those days are over. They have to be over. Against the pacing threat that we're up against, they have to be over. We have to be able to move. We have to be able to be survivable. We have to be more lethal. And that means the setup and takedowns have to be faster. And wireless is the way that helps you get there. So next, in the area of emissions control, our Marines are also hard at work reducing our electronic signature. We've done great work this time with our Threat System Management Office to be able to not only see what our physical signature is, but also reduce our electronic signature. So during Steel Night, our radio operators tested their capabilities by detecting and responding to an electronic warfare attack at both our command posts as well as our subordinate units. At the main, our radio operators correctly responded by transmitting through the MCON conditions to progressively reduce our electronic signature. And it was amazing to see how low they can bring our signature down in a main or forward command post, down to what the enemy would have seen equivalent to a single PRC 117 Gulf radio. Jamming efforts and tactical evolutions took place simultaneously. We were really testing the network in order to simulate the full range of friction that we would anticipate in a near-peer conflict. Jamming during the tactical evolutions and the responses to the EW attacks allowed our G6 and our comm company to work through that friction with innovation and responsive needs, enabling C2. So, in conclusion, talked about MUOS, talked about network on the move, talked about SIPR wireless, and emissions controls. Just a few of the programs that we've implemented here in the 1st Marine Division. And a success of these programs is a result of the diligence and determination of our comm professionals. We talked a lot about technology, a lot of innovation, but don't for a minute think that I credit all of our success to the technology that we've put in place. Hey, nothing happens without our comm professionals, and we have an obligation to lead, to mentor, and manage the talent we have. They work tirelessly to safeguard our crucial communications infrastructure and ensure that our systems are running smoothly. I couldn't be more proud of these leaders, and I'm confident they'll continue to make the 1st Marine Division, the Blue Diamond, a leader in communications in areas where it counts the most on the battlefield, facilitating decision-making, delivering and synchronizing lethal and non-lethal effects on the enemy at the right time, at the right place to win the battle. So, thank you again for providing me the opportunity to speak to you and brag a little bit about some of the innovations we're doing in the Blue Diamond. I look forward to exchanging ideas and best practices with you. I thank you for your support. I've got my Assistant Chief of Staff G6, Lieutenant Colonel Shankar and his team, and all the subject matter experts that will be here with me today. And we stand by to help answer any of your questions or concerns. So, hoorah, and thank you very much.